Hello, I'm Joe Walensky, and I am the conference director for the upcoming Technical Writer Conference, and that's coming to us virtually, online, everywhere for everyone. And that will be on Tuesday, July 23rd. And one of the fun things I get to do is talk to the speakers that will be there. And right now, I am visiting with Sharon Burton. Hello, Sharon. How are you doing today?
I am doing well, Joe. It's a lovely inland Southern California day.
Well, good for you. It's a dismal June day here in Bellingham, Washington, but I'm glad you're having some good weather, and it's good to have you join for a few minutes. And I've known of you and about you for a long time, but for people that may not be familiar, why don't you talk a little bit about the work that you do and how you found your way to where you are today?
So, my name's Sharon Burton. Hello, in case you don't know who I am, I'm Sharon Burton. I live in inland Southern California, which means I live in a city called Riverside, which is halfway between Los Angeles and Palm Springs. And I've lived here for quite some time. I've been in the tech com industry a little bit longer than I almost want to admit. To my surprise, I have been in this field now just over 30 years. I started when I was in graduate school. I was starving. Literally, my son and I was a single mom. We were starving to death. And a person I knew, a man I knew over in the computer science department, we knew each other. We were in grad school. I was working on PhD. He was working on his master's. He said, he met me for coffee and he said, "Hey, I'm working for this company a couple of towns over. They're looking for somebody to write the manuals. Would you be interested in that?" And I said, "Oh, not particularly, but what does it pay?" And he said, "Oh, it pays $10 an hour." And I said, "I'm your girl. I'm totally in," because at that time, $10 an hour was huge. That was $400 a week. My rent was $200 a month. I mean, that was real money. And so I thought, well, I'll do this until I get bored, and then I'll go on and do something else. Well, here I am 30 plus years later, still waiting to get bored. And I've had a brilliant and amazing career in TechCom. It's been brilliant. So when I am not working for clients, and right now I am working for a client, a long-term contract, I also teach engineering students at the University of California, Riverside. I co-teach, and my co-teacher and I are teaching engineering students how to communicate, which seems like a Sisyphean task, but in fact, those of us in the tech industry know that engineers need to be able to communicate with other human beings. Engineers like to think that the bulk of their communication is to other engineers who will understand the brilliant ideas popping out of their heads. But those of us in technology know better. We know that engineers need to be able to communicate with regular people in the tech industry so their ideas can be seen for the genius that they often are. So I do that 2 or 3 nights a week. And then in 2025, early 2025, I decided to do a project that I had been mulling for a few years. And that project is the book that the end result is the book, Women in Technical Communication from Typewriters to Touchscreens. It came out in March of 2026, and it is 68 other writers, all of them women in TechCom, who graciously wrote their stories. And so it's an international book. It's writers from Mexico and Poland and the UK and other places in Europe and Israel and obviously the United States, all of whom got together and wrote their stories. And the book is amazing. It's people you've never heard of and people you've heard of, Karen Shriver and Anne Rockley and Rahel Bailey and like the list, Jenny Reddish. I mean, the list goes on. It's pretty much a who's who of the women in TechCom for the last 50 years. It's amazing. So that's me.
Yeah, well, thanks for telling us about yourself and the book, which is the subject of the topic that you're going to talk about. The title is similar to your book, From Typewriters to Touchscreens, the stories that shaped our field. So yeah, it's great that you'll kind of be able to give us a little bit of background and color and anecdotes related to the book, and certainly people have it's had rave reviews among people that have been able to see it so far, and these are just great things to have done in a profession anyways. But let me just ask you what what was it like, or what was your philosophy or your plan in terms of contacting and attracting all the people that you ended up getting involved with it?
Well, initially, when I proposed the idea to my publisher, I said I want to put out a call for writers and see what happens. And he said, "So we'll probably get 20 writers. You'll approach the top 20 writers, top 20 women in our field, and we'll get pieces from them." And I said, "Well, sort of, sort of. I'm absolutely going to approach some of the top people in our field, but I also think that we should cast our net wide because the women who have done the work in our field are not just the names that we all recognize. There are women who have done important, groundbreaking work that maybe we haven't heard of, but we should." And so when I put out the call for writers, I cast the net as widely as I could. And I reached out to some of the names that we all know in our field. And I think the book is stronger for that. And I think that the history that has been told about our field is stronger for that because we all kind of know what Anne Rockley has contributed to our field, or Rahel Bailey or Karen Shriver, like those people. We know they contributed an enormous amount to our field. But these other names that we may never have heard of, but who showed up and did work similar to maybe work that we did, that made a difference, that moved our profession forward a little bit more, or just simply, and this is important, created content that their customers could use to use the products that they wrote the instructions for. And we lose how important that is in our field. We tend to forget that at the end of the day, we are writing instructions so that people can use the products we're documenting. And if people can use our instructions to use the product, that's the win. That's the metric for whether or not we are a success. So my talk is going to be about the kinds of things that we all as a field, and as documented in the book, the things that we have gone through in the last 30, 40, 50 years, and why the changes facing our field today may feel like they're new. I mean, AI is certainly new. It's a new change, but change is not new to our field. Our field has been built on change, and we keep changing. And AI, absolutely a big change, but it's not a new change. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say myself. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to get your perspective on that. And thanks for offering to be part of this. And look forward to seeing you at the conference in just a couple of weeks.
I am so looking forward to this conference. I've looked at the agenda, and everybody is a top player, and I'm just really excited to be part of this lineup. And I hope you get something out of my talk, but I'm looking forward to getting something out of everybody else's talk.
Well, thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.
Excellent. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.